guys who get stuck in sexless marriages, and oftentimes by the time we meet them, sometimes it's been 5 or 10 years of that with no sex at all, right? And I was looking up some studies on this. So there's a 2018 study from the Archive of Sexual Behavior that says 15% of married couples have not had sex in the past year.
That's
And then,
crazy.
and then listen to this. A 2022 article in Psychology Today estimates that 25 to 50% of married couples have sex less than 10 times a year.
I don't understand why I would say I commit myself to you and then restrict you from commitment. I don't get it. I don't understand. And so that's the part where it seems very confusing to hold the line. Now, my theory is there are elements of the dynamic that people don't know how to grow through. And what I mean is men don't know what it means to be safe for a woman, and women have no freaking clue what their job in a relationship is.
I always come back to, like, what can we do better? Because that's all we
Because
work with the guys.
that's what all the guys do. They're like, what am I doing
That's
wrong here?
exactly that's what all the guys do. And there's definitely things that we do wrong.
Sure.
Like, no doubt about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it takes two to tango, but we can only control ourselves and what we do. So that's what I try and focus on.
Let's go ahead and do the thing the ladies would never expect us guys to do. Let's go ahead and say, us guys are doing it wrong. Here's something that you see guys are doing wrong. And here's how you would say this will help them.
So this is one thing that I asked my wife about in the past few months, because we'll have conversations about the things that I'm teaching the guys, and I always want to hear her perspective on stuff, especially coming from the woman's end. Like, what does she think about this? What is she missing or has been missing in the past that has led to issues in our relationship? And one of the biggest things that she pointed out to me is, she said, women don't want to have sex if they don't feel beautiful, if they don't think you think they are beautiful, right? If there's not an overwhelming evidence that you think she is beautiful, she doesn't feel beautiful, because you're probably hopefully one of the only people telling that to her on a constant and consistent basis. And it puts them in a state where they aren't turned on. They feel very uncomfortable. And she's kind of expressed that to other ladies, and they've formed a consensus around that. And I asked her, I was like, do I make you feel beautiful? She was like, no, I wish you would tell me way more often. And I was like, I thought I was doing a pretty good job at this. She was like, yeah, well, you tell me how great my ass is and how nice, like, all these other things are. But I want to hear more. Like, I want to hear about, how beautiful my face is and, like, all these other things. And it was like me learning, like, there's a gap here. Like, I've been doing okay, but there's still a gap that I can cover, right? Through the words of affirmation and continuing to praise her and build her up in that way. So, like, that was a mistake that I found that I thought I was doing a good job at.